click on the subscribe button, and press the bell icon, to never miss any updates.
Welcome to the Face to Faith. I'm your host, Dr. TK Nakagaki. I'm the president of the Heiwa Peace and Reconciliation Foundation of New York and former president of the Buddhist Council of New York. And myself is originally from Japan, actually. And so that's how this program is made. This is, again, myself, no guest today. So which means we'll start with the short meditation. And so you are ready to the program. So every time, as we live in a busy city in New York, we need to have a space. Just being quiet, even like a short period of time. Breathe in and out slowly and deeply. And so breathe deep. So you can sit with your back straight, relax your body, and simply breathe in, out, and follow your breath. But instead of the lungs, you try to breathe from your lower stomach. Okay? I'll ring 3 bells, and then we'll begin the show. You can close your eyes lightly. So it's sometimes, we feel these moment of silence is like there's nothing you can do. But this is I think, important time. Like when you're, daytime we're active, moving all around. But the nighttime we need to go to sleep, right? It's in a way, our mind is occupied when we are awake, but then to have enough energy, we need a sleep. Yeah, so that's kind of the same idea too, probably. By making a meditation, that's like a kind of quiet time, so you can relax yourself, and so you are sort of like cultivating the energy instead of just the negative kind of energy, but try to bring the positive or peaceful energy. And so that's how you wanted to live your life. The parts that I wanted to share with you today, although we do have a guest coming, many occasionally from the different traditions, Christianity, Hindus, and Muslims, and try to invite other secular guests as well. And so when we have a guest coming, it's always interesting to have a reaction, how you communicate each other. And so it's like your own inviting somebody else to your own space. In a way, it's a little awkward sometimes, but the other way of saying, the other time you feel very comfortable and speaking with them. So this is a kind of a space we create together, right, when we have a guest. And if I'm doing my own thing, this is only my space. But so probably interesting to see the difference between when I'm doing all by myself and then when we have a guest coming. Yeah, because it changed the dynamics. And then even like some of the guests were active, very, very enthusiastic. And some guests are more quiet and calm. So there's a different type of people, right? Yeah, it's a different personality too. And so my own personality, your personality, all different. And sometimes some people, always thinking a positive way, but then some people tend to have little negative way of thinking. Oh, I can't do, I don't think I can do it, like those. But some people, oh, sure, I'll do, So it's a very interesting, personality, the difference. And so. So I hope you will enjoy when we have a guest comes. Then they have different interaction, a different air. Maybe you might feel, and but this air, is actually very important parts of the interface too. When we have an interface dialogue, yeah, we need to have a safe space first of all. Yeah, comfortable space. So that's the first probably efforts that we need to do. So I'm today, oh, forgot, but I'm talking about how you can prepare of so-called stranger or other people to have a communication. Yeah. So, so different religion meets, but at the same time, then what kind of space is good to have? This is a Japanese tradition maybe, but one of the part of the tea ceremony, we have a tea, and but I forgot to bring it today to the studio, and so I was thinking whether I should talk about this today or not. But well, since the time is limited, we just try. Maybe some other time I'll bring the tea and teacups or something. But the tea is a very interesting notion. Tea ceremony. I don't know how many of you are very familiar with the tea ceremony. Well, it's basically the powder tea we drink. Yeah, basically drink the tea. And we have a little snack, little sweet or something, and you tasted that, and then you just have space. But instead of drinking all yourself, you have a guest. So like a small room of a tea house, and then actually the entrance of the tea house is so narrow and small, so you cannot carry anything really. So used to be the tea house is a place that you don't bring weapons or anything. So like used to be sword, katana in Japanese. But they have to put all those things outside of the tea room. And before you come in, actually, you wash your hands, your mouth, and so that way you're bringing the purify you instead of all the defilements and so forth, greed, anger, whatever the things should be set aside. And they just with the water clean yourself, which means not just the body, clean your mind and clear your mind. Then you come to the tea house. As I said, the entrance is so narrow, you sort of like have to bow to come in. So which means you show the respect to the room that you're entering, and also the people in the room also. So you show the respect to the tea maker, the one who created tea this time, tea master maybe, and other guests are sitting, so we just show respect. So this is the one of the, the, what do you call it, the space, safe space. No weapons, right? With respect we will have. So those are something that we can bring any conversation. No weapon to harm you or anything. So set aside. Weapon could be your brain, mind as well. So intention is try to bring the precious moment, spend the precious moment together, and maybe possibly share your thoughts, share your experience, and share your own knowledge and so forth. But just simply be there and enjoy the tea together. So after you get into the tea house, so there's a master start making the tea. Okay, so you're during those time you're sitting, hopefully comfortably, but of course if you're never been to Japan or you never be sit on the floor, that may have a little problematic, but yet yeah, you try to feel comfortable sitting. And one of the important things is so you just show respect to the other people, other party. You're the guest, but also there's another guest. So the guests and masters, everybody, very important to keep the respect. So that's the first thing for the important parts of the respecting. Okay. And second thing that will be important is the kind of a purity, pure mind, instead of anger or greed and such, the mind of jealousy and mind of lying and, too much pride or too much of the whatever things that you have. So, just let it go and simply be there with a mind of no mind in a way, but just be there and enjoy the moments. Not trick anything, but just purely your presence. And all the worries, everything, just left it in the outside, right? So just relax. So pure mind is something that you wanted to have, free from greed, anger, hatred, fear, so those things to be set aside. Okay. And then the third one, we call it actually wa ke se jaku. Yeah, wa is a meaning peace actually. How can you create a peace? The wa consists of first respect, ke, sei, purity, and then the last one, jaku. Jaku is actually quietness, silence. Silence or, the tranquility. So feeling of peaceful, basically. Not exciting too much, but then calming down. Yeah. And then calm down. So you're not too excited, but at the same time, you really enjoy the company, people, the things you receive, like sweets as well as tea, and maybe a little conversation. And a tea garden also has like art, like a little flowers normally. And then there's a little saying, the calligraphy with that. And then like sometimes expression of the nature, of the beauty of life, and something like those. So there are different expression of we call scroll with a calligraphy hang there. And sometimes we do have little incense. Yeah. So that incense itself is calmingness. Not excitement, but the smells could be calm, right? Not like a coffee. I mean, in a way, it's like a coffee too. If you go to the coffee shop or when you drink the coffee, you can smell. That smell can make you sort of like concentrate something, right? So the same idea. If you have incense there, then the smell of the incense itself is calming down your mind. And then some flowers presents the present kind of feeling, as well as life itself you feel. And so it's part of the tea setting itself is entire thing is one way of expressing the gratitude or respect. And I think this is one of the way to think of the interface dialogue too. So imagine like instead of a tea house, you just now guess these all different religious traditions, right? And then we just, of course, weapons and so forth we may not carry anyway, but we just take, all things out, and you just come into the room. So the table, right? So-called table, we're sitting on a table together, and with a sense of respect and sense of pure mind and sense of calmness. So we're not just calmness is actually very, very important probably for the conversation too. So you just have all those people gather, and then we enjoy some tea. Maybe it could be instead of tea, you could have a little lunch or the dinner. Well, maybe lunch might be nice. So and then so in a way, sharing the food or sharing the moment and sharing the space itself is a very beginning of the interfaith, I believe. Of course, you can talk about, the teaching and so forth, from the beginning, maybe, but it would be nice to meet as a human beings. Each one has their own life, and then they choose their path of their religion and what they believe and so forth. So in a way, it might be just simply have some tea, might be the much peaceful way of beginning of the conversation. And so last time actually I spoke about actions. You use a mouth, the eyes and so forth to communicate. You communicate with the entire body. But this time also you're talking about space and what kind of space you can prepare by spacing. Once you get into the room, that itself is already have a sense of conversation, sense of respect. Then this dialogue should become better. Okay? So with a little tea house in your mind, you can always consider as the conversation, interface conversation with other people, these people, and so, okay? Well, maybe you can have some tea after this session, okay? All right. Then, so I wanted to finish with again for the bring peace to yourself, and then bring peace to others, and bring peace to the world that we're living. Relax your body and follow your breath, and thinking of the peace to yourself. And bring peace to others. Breathe in and breathe out. And peace to this society, the world that we're living. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, thank you very much, and peace to you all.
ITV, Call of Peace, Save Humanity.